It was my wedding day. Everything seemed perfect. I'm Jessica Parker walking toward Jason Clark with a smile. Then my phone buzzed, a message I wasn't expecting. My heart skipped a beat. Something about it felt wrong. I froze reading it slowly. That single message changed everything. I'm Jessica Parker, and for as long as I can remember, I've believed in love, the kind that feels effortless, honest, and meant to last. My life with Jason Clark had been exactly that. Every day, we shared quiet moments that built a world I thought I could trust completely. Long evening talks about our future, planning trips we would take together, and dreaming about the home we would one day share. Our relationship was built on unwavering trust. Jason knew my fears, my hopes, every hidden corner of my heart. I had never doubted him, and he never gave me a reason to. That kind of trust doesn't come easily, but when it exists, it feels unbreakable, like a bond you can lean on no matter what. Our families were equally supportive. My parents adored him, and his family welcomed me like one of their own. Wedding planning became a joyful routine, from picking colors to selecting flowers and imagining the aisle where I would walk toward him, smiling and full of hope. Everything felt calm and stable, as if life itself had paused to celebrate us. Little did I know, beneath the laughter and excitement, shadows were quietly gathering. A storm was coming, one I could never have predicted, one that would change everything I believed about love and trust. At first, the signs were tiny, almost invisible. Jason Clark still smiled at me, still held my hand, still whispered promises, but something felt off. It was subtle, a delayed reaction, a flicker of hesitation in his eyes, a tone that didn't quite match his words. I wanted to ignore it, to convince myself I was imagining things. Love, I thought, makes you cautious, but this felt different. Then came the phone. Jason, who had never cared much about secrecy, suddenly kept it face down, always on silent. Calls and messages seemed to appear at odd times, and whenever I asked, he would brush it off with excuses, work stress, wedding pressure, nothing to worry about. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust the person I had given my heart to completely. Still, a quiet unease settled in my chest. A whisper I couldn't ignore. Something is wrong. I noticed small inconsistencies in his stories, fleeting moments where he avoided my gaze, subtle changes in his behavior. I questioned myself constantly. Was I overthinking? Was my mind twisting harmless things into suspicion? Or was this instinct trying to warn me? I smiled, stayed calm, pretended nothing had changed. But deep down, the doubt had planted a seed that would grow, quietly waiting for the truth to surface. The moment I opened that message, the world seemed to stop. Every heartbeat, every breath froze as the words on the screen burned into my mind. Jason Clark, the man I had trusted with my entire heart, had been lying all along. The smile I adored, the promises I clung to, the plans for our life together, it was all a carefully crafted illusion. I read it again, hoping my eyes were deceiving me, that there had to be some mistake. But there wasn't. The evidence was undeniable. Everything I thought I knew about him, about us, crumbled in that instant. I felt a cold numbness creeping through my body, followed by a wave of disbelief so powerful I couldn't even speak. Around me, the wedding preparations continued as if nothing had changed. But I couldn't move. I was frozen, trapped in a silence filled with betrayal. Every laugh, every hug from family and friends felt hollow. The man standing just a few feet away, smiling and unaware, had destroyed my world without a single word of truth. My trust was shattered, my heart broken, and my mind raced with questions I didn't want to face. How could someone I loved so deeply deceive me so completely? In that moment, everything I believed in, love, honesty, loyalty, felt like it had been exposed as a lie. After the truth hit, I felt like the ground had disappeared beneath me. Jessica Parker, the woman who had trusted with all her heart, now stood alone in a world that felt suddenly cold and unfamiliar. The dreams Jason and I had built together, the home, the trips, the wedding I had planned meticulously, everything seemed to vanish in an instant, leaving behind only emptiness. I tried to speak, to confront him, but the words got stuck in my throat. Family and friends were around, smiling and celebrating, completely unaware of the storm raging inside me. Their joy only made my isolation deeper. I felt trapped, surrounded yet completely alone. Every thought returned to that message. That evidence of betrayal, and a sharp ache gripped my chest. The future I had imagined with Jason was gone, replaced by a reality I hadn't prepared for. Trust, once so natural and effortless, now felt fragile and unsafe. I questioned everything, my choices, my judgment, even my own instincts. For days, I wandered through the motions of life, feeling detached, disconnected. Meals, conversations, even my own reflection felt meaningless. The weight of betrayal pressed down on me relentlessly. I realized that healing wouldn't be immediate. First, I had to face the emptiness, accept the loss, and find the strength to rebuild the life Jason had left shattered. After the pain settled into a quiet ache, something inside me shifted. I stopped crying, stopped asking why. I realized that shouting or breaking down would only give Jason Clark what he didn't deserve, my weakness. So I chose silence, calm, control. I began to observe him closely, the way I should have before. Every word he spoke, every smile he forced, every excuse he gave, I noticed it all. I didn't confront him. I didn't change my behavior. To him, I was still the same trusting Jessica Parker. And that was my advantage. Instead of reacting, I started planning. I saved messages, remembered timelines, connected small details that finally made sense. I let him believe. The moment had finally come. I stood across from Jason Clark, my heart pounding, my mind sharp and steady. No tears, no trembling, just calm, calculated determination. The room was filled with family and friends, all unaware of the truth that I was about to reveal. Jason smiled at me, completely confident, completely oblivious. I started speaking slowly, each word deliberate. I presented the messages, the proof, the undeniable evidence of his lies. Every lie he had told, every secret he had hidden, was laid bare in front of everyone. The smile that had once made me feel safe now faltered, twitching at the edges. He tried to speak, tried to explain, but the words sounded hollow, meaningless. As the reality of his betrayal sank in, I watched the power shift. The calm, composed Jessica Parker, the woman he had underestimated, was now in control. Family members gasped, whispered, and looked at him with disbelief. He was exposed, helpless, and silent. The man who had tried to manipulate, charm, and deceive was now left with nothing but shame. I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat. I simply watched, letting the truth and karma do their work. For the first time in weeks, I felt a sense of balance restored, a quiet justice that was mine alone to hold. I am Jessica Parker, and through this storm, I discovered a strength I never knew I had. Betrayal hurt, shattered dreams, and left me questioning everything, but it also taught me the value of trust, self-respect, and patience. Peace returned slowly, not through revenge alone, but through clarity, courage, and knowing my worth. I rebuilt my life, stronger, wiser, and more aware of the people I let in. Life can break you, but it can also rebuild you. So now I ask you, what would you do in my place? Did this story shock you? Hit like if it did. Subscribe now for more dramatic revenge and betrayal stories, and comment below. What would you do if you were in Jessica's place? We want to hear your story.